everyone, and welcome to SharePoint Power Hour. I'm Laura Rogers, and this is our live show that we do Wednesdays at 11 Central. I also have Joelle Jobson here on audio.
Hello.
And I have my daughter here helping out with, she's my technical assistant today during Power Hour. And she's looking at me, fussing at me because I didn't put her background there. That's the background she picked out for me to use today. And so today's topic is going to be the new SharePoint starter kit. This is a PowerShell thing. This isn't really an end user or business user. I'm not a developer, so I figured it out, but this is more of an admin topic today. So we usually have pretty out of the box type of stuff. This is easy to implement, but you do have to have admin access to be able to do it. So we'll talk about what it is, and I actually did successfully install it, and it's very cool. So we'll talk about what it is and how it works. And so no further ado, let me flip over to my desktop and share with you basically what the output is of the starter kit, at least a little bit of it. All right, so the concept of this is that customers will come to you and ask for the ability to save a site as a template, or they will ask for the ability to have a standard color scheme or a standard set of things that are on a bunch of different sites, or standard lists and libraries that they want on, say, we want all project sites to have a library called project files, and we want the navigation to have this XYZ, and standard colors. So of course those are all things that can be done manually, and the concept of a hub site, which Joelle did a few power hours ago, is something that you can set up. It means that you define sort of a top level site, and you say that this is going to be the hub site, and basically it kind of acts as a parent to whatever sites you put under it. Now, so keep in mind though, the gist of all this is that the new thing now with Office 365 groups and communication sites and hub sites and all this is that subsites are sort of not a thing that we are wanting to do anymore. Subsites are a thing of the past. So none of this involves subsites. Everything is a top-level site collection. So even though a hub site is technically, you're kind of defining it as a parent, it's really just, they're all just a flat structure. So what the SharePoint Starter Kit does is it installs a few different site collections for you to show you what it does out of the box, and to show you, it gives you this whole framework for things that you can tweak to create your own sort of standard script that you can run to spin up all these sites. It's to spin up a hub and a couple of sites that point to the hub. So this orange is kind of an ugly color, but this is the root that they give you, this demo portal. And of course the resolution on my screen for YouTube is kind of wonky, but it's not going to be this gigantic on your screen. But it defines this top level site as a hub site, and gives you this global nav, and gives you this lovely home page, and a bunch of web parts on it, a few custom web parts that it has as part of it. Look at that. And then look at this, it's even got its own footer. So you could make your own footer that's sort of like a branding thing that would, look at that. That is so cool, a little fly out. And that you can have for your environment if you, go kind of dig through the code that they use for all this. And then it also creates a couple of sites that are sort of child sites to this hub site. So it creates human resources, and notice that the navigation is global. This is because of the hub site, and it's also got marketing. So human resources and marketing are child sites that it creates. Now it also creates, I think a few of the web parts are broken, because it creates this personal page and it had a bunch of basically broken web parts on it. So it has like a my calendar, basically a bunch of my stuff on it, and I deleted them. There were just a bunch of errors across the page. So we can look at some of the web parts that it gives you too. So it also, go back to the root here. All these web parts are, not all of them are custom, but most of them are. They're special web parts that get installed as part of the solution. So we can go look at those too. So let's go look at, I'll just go to that personal page. And also, if I go to SharePoint, and this is just a demo tenant that I did all this installation in, it put a few news articles. So if I go to this new international marketing initiatives, it takes me to this news article that's in the site pages. So it has like, a good bit of fake content in there. Let's go look at the site contents. And you can see that it's just got a few news articles that it put in there. It's not a ton of fake content, but I can go look at the hub site settings, and I can see that, it's got this navigation name of PNP Starter Kit. I can call it Contoso. I can just put Contoso on there. I can put IWMenter. And then that will be what shows at the top left of the navigation wherever you are. And so let's go to the personal page and look at some of these web parts it gives you. Let's see. So I'm going to expand this web part thing out. So we've got other right here. So it's got personal calendar, personal contacts, personal email. So remember the old my calendar, my links, they were old from SharePoint, like 2007. That seems like that's what that's trying to be here. But anyway, they all had errors when they were on here a minute ago. So let's see if they actually work now. I'm not sure. So personal contacts, I don't have any personal contacts. Personal calendar. It actually works now. So I just removed them and then waited all night, and now they're actually functioning. So maybe it was a timer job or something that needed to run for those to work. So I'll put personal email on there. So that means whoever is logged into this page is going to see all their own personal stuff. And then it also had the one called the People Direct. People love this stuff, right, Joelle? The People Directory. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a constant ask.
Look at that. We have a customer that's going to want this like right now. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's got the little A, B, C, D and all that stuff. So I'll go ahead and publish that. And so look at that. You can go through. It's got all these little fake users and stuff, but you can go through this people directory. People love the people. You can't really click. Nobody's clickable, but hey, it's close. You can go search for people. So that is pretty cool. So it's called personal and just gives everybody their own personal stuff. And then organization just seems like it just takes me back to the home page. But let's go look at some of these. This is actually, I noticed this is just the promoted links web part. So promoted links apparently is, I'm not sure if this is one of the custom ones. But I went and looked, and I went and kind of looked inside of here, and I noticed that there was a SharePoint list, the promoted links list that had all these in it. So people love those things, right, Joelle? That's still like one of the blog posts I wrote on my blog site about promoted links web part. That's the most hit blog post still, even though that's the old classic mode way of doing things. So. It's got company news, company events, and then it's got this little weather web part.
Yeah, Stacy asked, you can manually add the personal stuff to an existing hub site?
If you install these special web parts. Yeah. I wonder if I just put 35242 Fahrenheit. That's mine. Okay, yeah, that's my weather. And then there's Microsoft's stock code. And then so part of this solution is actually you can tell it your location and you can tell it your own company's stock code, and it will put it on the page automatically for you. And then these are all just image web parts, but they made them look very fancy, didn't they? The way they put the, yeah, oops, I just clicked on that. Nice. Let me go back to where I was. Okay. Anyway, so it's got a bunch of just, it's very pretty the way it's all set up. It's got a bunch of custom web parts. It's got the hub site set up. And let me refresh this one. And it's got just this is like the, what's it called? My mind just went blank. The, oh, this isn't it. This isn't the hero web part. This is something else. Interesting. Huh. Oh, it is the hero web part. It's just because of my resolution. It's just showing in a weird way. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's just the hero. Okay, so let's go look at how this works and what you have to do. So you have to go to, first of all, I put a link in the chat to, where is it? I'll put it in the general tab, and it's there's a blog post introducing the SharePoint starter kit. That's this. So I recommend you read through this and watch this video, because the video of Vesa going through the steps really helped me to just set it up real quick. So go here, watch the video, and then it has a link that it takes you to GitHub. So it's this github.com/SharePoint/SP starter kit here. And that's where you need to get all this code. So you got to create a GitHub account, which is free. And so what I did was, the first step that they give you is that you need to go to Central Admin. So I went to Central Admin, and it talks you through creating this custom profile property. So you go to SharePoint Admin. Oops. And you old school admins are this is gonna look familiar to you. Where did my, oh, there it is. And then you go to user profiles. And that takes a minute. Then you go to user properties. And then you have to go new property. And it actually walks you through creating a new property. Creating a new property. I already did it in this tenant. But let me cancel, and I'll show you the property I created. Come on. It was this one. PNP collab footer my links. So it does. I'm not sure off the top of my head what it does, but that was the only thing that I had to do in Central Admin. So you just have to follow their instructions that they link to set that up. And then go back to that. Go back to my, anyway, leave that alone. Okay, so then the next step was they said to upload a SP package, which was like a solution package, and to put it in the app catalog. Well, when I tried to do that, it didn't work. It said that there was like it was a corrupt file or something like that, and I tried that in a couple of different tenants, and it still said it was a corrupt file. But without putting the solution in the app catalog, all this stuff did work. So I don't know if that was instead of or not necessary, but I didn't do that step. And then what I did was I downloaded this zip file. So I went to this PNP start, I clicked clone or download, I chose download. And then I extracted what was in that download. It was just a zip file, and it gives me this SP starter kit master. And then So let me tell you, the first time I tried to run this stuff, I got all kinds of errors saying that I didn't, it was like had to do with gulp, some kind of gulp errors. And I was like, what the heck is gulp? I don't even know what gulp is. And so it took me a little bit of Googling to go figure out, because every time I tried to Google what is gulp or these gulp errors I was getting, it was a bunch of developers talking about how to fix errors with gulp, but I didn't even know what gulp was. So apparently it's something that probably the people who usually run PowerShell scripts and who usually do solutions like this already have this on their computer, but I'm not a developer, so I didn't have it. So maybe it was just assumed that you'd have it. But I did find this great blog post, Getting Started with Gulp, by somebody named Travis Maynard. And it actually walks you through step by step of what exactly to do. So I followed his steps, and you have to be logged in as an administrator on your computer and all that stuff, because it's going to install some stuff. But I walked through his step-by-step instructions of these commands to run, and it worked. So once I installed Gulp, whatever the heck that is, and Node.js and all this stuff that he talks you through installing, then that helped me get around all the errors that I got the first time I tried to install this PNP package. So that's that. It's good to know, right? So the first thing it tells you to do is, so you go to, if you click your start menu, the way you get to the PowerShell interface that I'm about to open is you click your start menu and you type ISE, and then it's got this Windows PowerShell ISE, and you right click on that and you run as administrator, and then you are taken to this screen. So then what it wants you to do though is you need to navigate to wherever you extracted your master kit. So I need to go to that directory. So just like copy and paste it. So now that I'm in this directory, then that's where I run this command that they give you. And so I'm gonna, let's see, where's that command? It's very, very easy. It is right. See, it tells you all the steps here. So this is where it says to prepare your tenant by go through. So these are the steps that I had to, I already had PNP PowerShell on my computer. So sorry, I skipped telling you to install PNP PowerShell. That would help, right? I'm just like the devs that maybe assumed you had GitHub. Not GitHub, Gulp. I'm assuming that you have PNP PowerShell. You do need to have that on your computer. So there are the steps to do that. Here are the steps to go through and install that user property. And then I did not do this step. And then, but I did do, basically, I went down to this. So I'm going to I'll take this and copy it. And then I'll go over to here. And so all I did was I didn't even run this with a site prefix, but I changed it to my tenant. So let me go get that name of that big long cryptic thing. And oops. There. So this is all I did. I just did their exact step of doing this .deploy ps1, putting the tenant URL. And that just gave me, it used the default of demo. So it put a default of, let's see, /sites/demo portal. So this demo underscore is the default of what it puts in front of each of the names of the sites that it creates, like demo portal, demo HR, demo marketing. So that's where you can use a prefix. Let's see, why isn't it prompting me? No, it's not prompting me. Anyway, it's that site prefix thing that was in there. So let's go back over to where'd it go? that site prefix demo. So you can change the site prefix to something else. And so there are actually several other things that you can change in here. So it's not just site prefix. So let me go just try and I'll show you what those all are and where it puts them. So I dug into, instead of just typing them all in here and then just going, I kind of dug in. I wanted to see kind of behind the scenes what it was doing. So I went into this provisioning folder, and it does have a README. It does explain a lot of what it's doing here. So it tells you what all this stuff is. But what I was doing was digging through the PowerShell and trying to just understand it and kind of poking around in all these files. So for example, this hierarchy, I'll just open that with Notepad++. This hierarchy, look at this. This is what it's going to create remember the top level site it created was the portal, and then it created these two quote, I'm putting in quotes, subsites, which are all site collections, but they're using this as its hub site. So that is where you can go change this in this hierarchy.json. So I can say like, let's see, main site. I change it to main site, and I put title IW mentor main site, and then this is and then children I can put, so it's got HR and marketing. I can do like IT, and I can do like 3 of them: IT, marketing, accounting, so let me go change this to information technology. So this is where you can build out your whole structure for what you want to be in your whole big architecture that you're building, and you just type it all in this hierarchy JSON file. So I'll save that. And then another one that I looked at was solution, I think. Let me see. No, that's not the one. Hold on. Portal. No, it was another. Well, it was another XML file. Let me. Hold on a second. I'm just going to open all these. It wasn't an XML file. Let's see. Provisioning. Solution. No, it wasn't a solution. There was one file that actually had all the values of, maybe it was this one. No. So all those little parameters that that I was talking about, it has all those in it. So let me just go poke around in there a little bit more. I think it was in I'm just going to go look at this, and I'll open that in here. Okay, yeah, it's just these parameters in here. So for the company, so when these little parameters like slash demo and stuff like that, it's got so weather city is something that I could put in here, and I could type the name of my city or put my zip code. So I can put like 35242 is mine. I can change it to some other company's stock, to my own stock symbol. It actually has instructions where you can go get a certain API key from this certain website to be able to use for it to use this to point to the stock symbol. And then I can put company and see the site prefix demo. So I could just change it here if I want to. I can say like Laura. And so those are all things that I can, those are all variables that are things that it's going to prompt me with, and with these little hyphen, all these extra things, but I could just type them in there if I wanted to. So I'm going to try and just run this again. Now, of course, when I try and run this with all you watching, it's going to give me errors. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's confused. Let me go close that. Oh, see, I didn't go to the right directory. So I got to go to CD provisioning. Sorry about that. Directory is important. And then it's going to prompt me to authenticate. I got to put my lovely long cryptic demo tenant thing in here. It's going to ask me this a few times. And of course it gives me an error. Yeah, it's probably because see, I don't know. I knew that this was probably going to error out with a whole bunch of stuff if I tried to run it just during power hour, which is why I ran it and got it working before power hour. Because look, I just messed with it and then just, pushed play. But the idea that it has is that it's going to, let's go back over to it. It's going to build this out for you and give you the ability to have like this framework for testing it and for changing things and for seeing how it does some of this stuff. Like, so here's the toolbar down here, and you actually have the ability to have this toolbar and see what the links are. So what I did was I looked around in here at what it was doing. Where is this toolbar coming from? And I was just kind of poking around and what it does. Because again, I'm not a PowerShell person. I'm not a developer. I'm just kind of trying to dissect this, right? So I went and I noticed that it had something that it was doing in the term store. So one time when I ran this, let me go back to the main one. Where's the term store? Where'd it go? Oh yeah, over here. One time I ran this and it said it couldn't find the term store or something like that. And then I thought that didn't make sense. So I went to the term store and I opened it up and kind of looked around. And then when I ran the script again, it ran fine and it found it. So I don't know if it was something to where it was a brand new tenant and the term store had never been used and I needed to go navigate to it. That seemed a little odd, but I'm just kind of letting you all know all these little trials and tribulations that I had. So what it did was it looks like, see, it put PNP term set. Look at this, PNP collab footer shared links. So this right here is where it's getting those. Let me go back to those links. No, not that one. Sorry, sites, demo portal. See these, it's going to have this footer. So this is actually the footer that it gives you for the communication sites. And then it gives me a different footer when I go to Office 365 group sites. Like, keep clicking away from it, sorry. So this one's an Office 365 group. So it actually gives me different footer depending on if I'm in a communication site or a group. So these tools like expense reports, time reports, webmail, those don't, the webmail is going to take me just to my own email like this. And then, so basically you can set those up to make them take people wherever you want them to take. So those are just some hard-coded links that you can put at the bottom. So like contacts is going to be, of course, they didn't have anything built into, supposed to go to some contact list. But this is where they are. So contacts right here is where you can go to navigation. And I can see, so it's not in navigation. It is, where's the setting, Joelle, that it would tell it what the link is? You know this stuff, don't you? PNP collab footer icon is what it's telling it to show.
You should scroll up. It should be under navigation.
Yeah, you would think. Oh, yeah, right there. I must have just skipped over that. So simple link or header. So that's where I could go, have an actual contact list and just hard code in the link to that list. And then legal policies. See, it's just gives you the ability to put your own in there. And then same goes for all these. So those are just the concept of having hard coded links embedded in your footer like this. And then, look, edit my links. And it even gives you the ability. So this is like my links. Remember the good old fashioned my links that existed? So I'm going to say I want my own link to be to, I'll just call it Wonder Laura. Apparently I can put a link to anything. It doesn't have to be in SharePoint. So look at, that is so cool, Joelle. Look at that. My links. So that is where that's that user profile property. So that is where that comes into play. So remember that one of those first steps we did was to create that user profile property, and it had said something about PNP my links. That is what that does. So that, I bet if I go over to, I'll go to admin, and I'll go look at my user in there, it's going to now have that link in there that I created, because now it's part of my user profile, and it's going to go anywhere with me. Do y'all think that's cool? Oh, thanks, Phil. There was a comma. Oh, yes. Appreciate it, Phil. Yep, you're right. And that was in the hierarchy, wasn't it? Yep. You are awesome. I'm going to try that again, actually, since you troubleshot it for me. I'm going to stop whatever it thinks it's doing right now. Now, the problem with the way I did this, as I've been running it and fixing stuff and running it, is I don't know if I'm screwing stuff up by letting it run part way and then and then canceling and starting all over. So it didn't give me the errors it gave me a minute ago, though. So that's good. Creating Laura IT. So it created Laura main site, and it's creating Laura IT. So remember, the Laura was the prefix that I gave it. And then the next one is going to be marketing. And then the next one is going to be, marketing. And then the other one was accounting. So now it's actually creating all those sites for me. So I'll just wait till that's done. That's awesome. Thank you, Phil. How does it link to existing sites you already have, like marketing, IT, and HR? Stacy, it puts the... you'd have to go to your existing sites and have it point to that hub site. So when I go to, like, this is the HR site, and I go to site information, I'd have to go point to that new hub site that I just created from the existing ones, and then they would get whatever the navigation and look and feel and stuff like that. So this is the new one. I just did the IW Mentor main site that's like where the script is still running. So let's go see what it's doing now. So it says provisioning solution. So that means it's taking all that custom stuff and it's putting it in those new sites. All the custom web parts and the custom stuff. And I think that we'll see if it builds that global navigation to have all three of my child sites. It should, but I'll just wait, and I'm not going to go poke the bear and try to go to those and mess with them while it's still running. But I do like the idea. I'm going to go ahead and go to this one and change the color scheme, change the look. So instead of using this orange junk, I'm going to change it to purple and apply. So now this is my hub site. I just changed the theme on it. Now it should automatically be, look, now my child sites have purple too. So HR and marketing. Did marketing not get it? That would be weird. So let me go see what the deal is. Let me refresh marketing. Now if marketing didn't get the color scheme, let's go look and see if it's not connected to the hub site for some reason. No, it is. So maybe that's just something where it takes a few minutes or it just needs to be refreshed. But one of them worked. There are also two different types of sites too. Marketing is an Office 365 group, and human resources is a oh, that's a group too. What are we doing here? Demo marketing, demo HR. I could have sworn it was purple just now when I looked at it. Anyway, I'm not going to taunt it and keep clicking on it. It probably just needs to propagate down. Okay, so let's go see my script. And ooh, it's still going. So that's a very good sign. It's going through a whole bunch of stuff and it's not erroring out. So just a real quick recap while this is running. You got to go to that URL, and you have to make sure you install PnP PowerShell on your computer. Go to your tenant and go through these steps of installing that custom user property, and that's going to give them the ability to have those My Links. And then I skipped this and it seemed to be fine. I'm not sure what that does or what I'm missing from skipping that, but it didn't work when I tried it. It had it said it had was corrupted or something. And then I didn't do this. I just went straight to opened up PowerShell, and when it says move to the provisioning folder, that means you have to go change the directory that you're in. You have to go to that starter kit, and then starter kit master, and then provisioning. So you have to be in this folder so that you can run this deploy.ps1. So then in the deploy, that's where it's gonna, that's where you just have to give it your tenant URL, and then it just goes. So let's go look. You've also got some README files you can take a look at. Like this one is the main README file for the whole solution. And it just kind of gives you a high level of some of the things that you need to do. This is very sort of technical, but it tells you all the custom web parts. That's a lot of custom web parts. Look at that. So a lot of those web parts I don't recall seeing in there. Like it says soon. Pick, I guess the pick is soon. And alert notification is something that it installs here, which I didn't even take a look at that. I don't know what that is. Shows informational or important messages in the header section of pages based on a custom list information in the hub site. Ooh, let's go take a look at that. That is cool. So that's something in the hub site. So we'll go find that special alert notification list, some custom list in the hub site, and we'll go play around with that. Company-wide links, we already saw that on the team sites, the footer. Discuss now, custom list view command set to add new custom dialog for a document library. That is awesome. Let's try that out too. Still got like 20 minutes. Portal footer, we saw that. Redirect, that's not really, doesn't seem like that's anything new. Site classification, I don't think that's new. Renders a header with site classification information. So that's when you create a site if you classify it. Also, another thing that I noticed that it does is it creates a custom site design. So Joelle taught us site designs one time in Power Hour. So let's go look at the site design that it creates. I'll show you that. So when I go here, when I go just anywhere, I can go to the SharePoint, just the SharePoint homepage. And when I click Create Site, it gives me So if I click communication site, it gives me this Contoso communication site design. So this is my custom site design that it gives me to use, which will have, and it'll have like the custom solutions and stuff built into it. So I can say, I'll just call it new communication site. So this is my Contoso communication site I'm creating. And see, when you're using a page, a design, see, it tells you what it's doing. So it adds it to the hub site and associates this SPFX extension portal footer. So that's when it's actually putting the footer in your new, look at that, in your new communication site. So now let's go back to SharePoint. And again, that is from that site design concept that we were talking about that Joelle taught a few power hours ago. So I'll do another one. I'll do a team site. And so look, it's got this Contoso team site design, test team. And then I'll just say private. And I don't have anybody to add. And then see, this is where it's adding those extra components and running through that site design. So it adds to the hub site and it puts the collab footer, which is the team site footer. So there it is. Look at that. So there's my links, and it just came with me. Isn't that cool? And it's purple. So both of those got the purple that I set on that parent site. Let's see. Any questions? Men O'Hara says, is it possible to make changes or add new ones after running the script to the live site? When you add new ones, the idea is that you're going to go click new site, and you're going to use that new site design like I just did. So instead of having to run a whole script again, your new ones are automatically going to get all that stuff when you use that site design. So that's the idea of what you do going forward after you've already got them in there. So sorry about that. That was an old question. Nicholas, I don't think so. I don't think you can have children of children, because with a hub site, all you have is a hub site and a child. You don't have like a grandchild concept with hub sites. It's only 2 levels. So any one site can only have one hub site, and hub sites can only have 1 level below them. So you're not going to be able to do children of children, at least not yet. Joelle, for Nicholas, can you put the link to that site designs power hour that you did?
Sure.
Oh, look, it's still running. So it's installing all that stuff. So the PNPP portal footer links. Let's go look at that special list, that SharePoint list that it was talking about having. Let's see. Okay, so let's go look back at our root site. So it's demo portal. And it said there was a special list that it has in here, that a custom list. Oh, look at that, alerts. Haha. Information, so alert type information or urgent. I'm going to put urgent. And you all, let's see. Oh, it's even got a start and end date time. Now this is a setting, this is a concept that's actually existed in SharePoint for a while. It was just something that you had to do with branding, and you had to do with I think your master page, but this now is like built into this solution. So I can say when I want it to start and when I want it to end. So maybe I want it to end tomorrow, and it can put more information. Okay, let's go see what that looks like. So I created an alert in this alerts list, and now when I go to my other sites that our child sites of this one, they should have an alert across the top. Let me see. Maybe not. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Oh, let me see if my script is done. Oh, no, it's asking me for my credentials again. Isn't this fun stuff? I love this. I'm excited. We have several customers that are going to need something like this, right, Joelle?
Yep, definitely. Sorry, I'm on mute.
It's okay. I don't know where the alert is supposed to show. I don't know if that maybe takes a few minutes or something. So let me, demo portal. No, that's just my alert list. Let's go to my demo HR. Demo marketing. Maybe it only shows, I don't know. Maybe it's a timer job. I'm not sure. Oh, let me go authenticate again. I think we're getting closer to the end. Yeah, I don't know where that alert is supposed to show or when it's supposed to show. I wish I think they're supposed to be a web part that will show you just all the child sites to a hub site. Does that ring a bell, Joelle?
Repeat that one more time.
Is there supposed to be a web part, or maybe there's going to be a web part that shows you all the child sites to your hub site?
I think what I heard is it's not a web part, but like in the new admin center, when they update that, the SharePoint admin center, I think there's going to be a way to see that.
But on the homepage of the hub site, no?
I don't think so. The only thing I've heard is that they were going to do that in the admin center. But then again, I may not have heard the same thing. So.
Oh, there's a followed sites web part. That's a good one. Oh, so it's going to show the logged in user their followed sites. So that's a good idea. So let's go to that new. Let's go see if our script is still running. Nope. Credentials again. And then let's go look at which sites that I created that are child sites of this portal. And I'm just going to check them to see if they have that alert thing across the top yet. So like finance, health, HR, finance. Oh, look, hub site association, it tells me right there. So these are the two new ones that go. My IW Mentor main site is that new hub site that script is creating. And then this is the other, so test com. I'm going to go navigate to that one. And I am following it because I created it, but it doesn't show an alert across the top. Let's go look at that alerts thing again. Alert shows information report messages in the header section of pages based on a custom list information in the hub site. Header section. Let's go look at I'll just do a new page and see if it shows. See, that's the header section, right? That big gray part. Huh. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm not sure what that's supposed to do. It's a cool concept though, right? Okay. So that is yet to be determined what that is, but this works. The collaboration footer does work. With the personalized links. Discuss now. Let's go look at that. So that's going to be in a document library. So let's go to documents. We'll go just to the main parent portal. Documents. It's got one document in there. So it's supposed to have like a discuss. I don't see that either. What did it say? I mean, these are all awesome. This is an awesome concept. Custom list view command set. Oh, it's the view maybe. List view command set. Comment count. That is interesting. I don't know. Comment count looks like it. That could be it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's going to be on the little plus button here. No. I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of poking around in here and looking at what it says it includes in here. If it does have something that lets you make comments, it is not apparent. Okay, what else did it say that it had? Portal footer, we saw that. Redirect, site classification. Site. I'm not going to go look at that. Renders a header with links between two different pages in a site. Tab page. Oh, tab page. Tab page sounds like it's some sort of special type of page. Okay, let's go see what that is. Also, I only looked in a collaboration site to try and find that thing with the discussion, but maybe that's something that exists in communication and team sites and not communication sites. So I'm going to go look there real quick. So I'll go stick a document in here. Well, that's the old Word online interface, huh? Saving. No, I don't see anything about having a discussion about it. Oh well. Okay, and what was that last one? Let's go see if our script is. So the script is done. It worked. So we can go look at that other portal that I created. So it's going to be Laura_main site. I've got way too many of these open now. So this is that whole other subsite. That whole other, hub site that I created. And I'll go ahead and change the look of this one to green. And then it's going to have, look at that. It's got my 3 departments that I had it create. So there's accounting, and it's a group. And it's got the footer, and it's got, my link I already created. And here's information technology and marketing. And then it actually gives you, when you're doing that hierarchy.json, when you're editing this, it doesn't give you the ability to change what type of site it is. It looks like it just created them all as team sites, as just Office 365 groups. So that's probably, if you wanted it to if you wanted to hard code what type of site they are, you'd probably have to hack into the code and figure out where the create site command is and go do that yourself. what else? We only got 6 minutes left, but it looks like it worked, and it of course the colors haven't propagated down yet, but it created all my sites, and it created, installed all the web parts, did the navigation, and it put my location here. It didn't put Fahrenheit, it's in Celsius, but it did put the correct location that I had put in that XML file, in the deploy file. And this is so cool, by the way, this little expandable footer. I'll have to go see where it puts all those too, all those little links that it puts in the expandable footer. I don't know if that's in the term store too. Well, I'll just go look at that real quick. My husband's teaching my daughter Power Apps in the next room, my 10-year-old. I said, I'm going to teach Kristen Power Apps today, and it looks like he beat me to it. So we got Contoso. Let's see what it put in here. Modern. Those are just terms. And then PNP term sets. That's the footer stuff. We already found that. And so no, I'm not sure off the top of my head where that footer stuff was coming from. So we'd have to, you probably have to go look in the code to see where that was. That was the footer for the other type of site. And I'm not sure why the alert thing isn't showing across the top of those sites. That's a cool concept, but I'm not sure what's missing in here, so it's not showing. All right, what do y'all think? Pretty neat. Y'all are going to go poke around and try it out. And I think, you could spend a good bit of time like getting it just the way you want it, but I think it's totally worth it. Think of all the work in SharePoint that you'd be doing manually to do all this stuff when you can just like spin it up and then just go tweak a few things, right? And then let me flip back over to myself here. So that was, anyway, so think of all the time that you'll save by being able to have your own template like this, and also the cool little header and footer that it installs. Just the header and footer alone, I think, is worth installing the solution and using it just to have that. That's awesome. So I'm super excited about it. I'm going to go use this on customers now, and all the customers that say, I want to have a template, and be able to have a template. You can use this, and then you can customize the site design that comes with it, and you can let them have a cool header and footer. And it's all just free from Microsoft. So you all go poke around in PowerShell now. See if there are any other questions. No questions? What do y'all think? Pretty neat. Oh, Beth says business alerts should look like this, and she uploaded a picture. So yeah, that's cool. There's actually a new command in Power Apps now that came out called Notify that puts a little message across the top of the Power App like that. Well, thanks, Beth. I appreciate that. I'm not sure why it wasn't working. Again, maybe it's on a timer job or something, but it's totally not showing on there at all. So not sure what that's about. It looks like on that one that you're showing, it showed like instead of this top navigation. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's one or the other. All right, well, I'm not sure what we're doing next week in Power Hour. Hopefully, we'll have that.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
Next week's 4th of July, just FYI.
Oh, next week's 4th of July. Let's not do Power Hour on 4th of July. Good idea. But I was hoping that I would have that new interface that they demoed at the SharePoint conference for creating lists, and it doesn't look like I have that yet. I've looked in a couple of my tenants, but I was hoping to be able to demo that, but I don't see it, so it's not out yet.
Now, I could maybe do. I'll kind of look and see between now and then, but the week after next, we can maybe do another one of those Office 365 update ones if there's enough stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of see what happens in their next update.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. We will see you next time. Oh, we do have a new Power Apps class we just put up on our site. It's the week of, it's a 4-day Power Apps class, August 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So you all go to iwmentor.com, check that out. Thanks. Over and out. See you all next time.